As we now transition to our next topic, we're looking at the Startup India 2.0 Innovation Engines for a Developed Nation. May we request our moderator to please now join us on stage, where he leads the academic and professional initiatives in the rapidly evolving finance sector. Joining Mr. Thakkar is going to be our panelists for today. We have Jayesh, who's a startup UP support incubation center. He is the fundraising strategist and social entrepreneur with extensive experience in mentoring and supporting startups. He also serves as a mentor at the eCell IIT Bombay and the founder of the JK Startup Support Incubation Center, guiding early stage ventures. Please, can we have Jayesh now to join us? We also are going to be joined by Devang Nirala, who is the founder and CEO of HighYPay, I believe, sir? Or why? HighY. Okay, HighYPay, where he leads the company's vision to simplify and innovate digital payment solutions. Under his leadership, HighYPay focuses on creating the seamless financial experiences for businesses and consumers. He's passionate about leveraging technology to drive financial inclusion and modernize payment systems. We also have CA Parimal Sheth, who is an accomplished investment banker, investor, and strategic management advisor with extensive experience in financial markets and corporate strategy. He's a director of Kenis Global Solutions. And we also, ladies and gentlemen, have another panelist who has agreed to be a part of this conversation. We have Mr. Sudeep Mondal, who's the founder and MD of SHC Growth Partners, an AI-powered, community-driven boutique IB firm. He is a startup ecosystem catalyst and also a visiting faculty at renowned institutes. May we request all our panelists to now be seated. Of course, we'll see where Mr. Jayesh is and our team will bring him in. But for the time being, because we just have 30 minutes, we'd request our moderator to start right away. Thank you.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. Startup 2.0. Let's go rewind 10 years before. It was January 16, 2016, when a vision was initiated, Startup India 1.0. Today, we are not only celebrating a decade which has totally transformed the DNA how the Indians think. From the job seeker, now become the job giver. Already the third largest startup ecosystem in India with more than 2 lakh startups. 48% at least have 1%, 48% have at least one woman as a director. 53% of startups are coming from tier 2 and tier 3 city. Already we have 125 unicorn with a combined valuation of 350 billion. So if the startup 1.0 was about starting, our startup 2.0, it's about scaling. Starting, and we have a esteemed panel, Devang, I'm going to call him the tech wizard. Jayesh, I'm going to call him the ecosystem builder. Parimal sir, the strategist, and of course, we have Sudeep, the financial architect. So we have personnel from all the domain which we are looking for. 2047, we want to become a Viksit Bharat. And for that, our startups are going to be our engine. I will start with Jayesh. Do the investors are looking at the shift from valuation to value? It's not only about profitability, it's about sustainability and actually making a real-time world impact.
Yes, so thank you very much. It's a good question started from me. It's very difficult. So just I introduce myself. My name is Jayesh Khade. So I'm an incubator. So I started an incubation center of JK. It's a Jayesh Khade Startup Support Incubation Center. So I'm a mentor and a guest speaker for eCell IIT Bombay, a Startup India mentor. So why I started an incubation center instead of investing in one startup? So we should start our own private incubation center. So where investors and startups so come get together and we'll give the mentorship, hand holding. First, mentorship is very important. Mentorship, market reach, and then if they require the money. But most of the time, if the startup get a good market and good mentorship, so अगर उसको धंधा ही मिला, बिजनेस ही मिला है, तो उसको पैसे की ज़रूरत क्या है? फंड मांगने वाले ने फंड देने वाले होने चाहिए. ऐसे स्टार्टअप्स के लिए हम इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. पहले स्टार्टअप कहते हैं हमारे पास पैसा नहीं है, पैसा नहीं है. So I share my success story. Can you believe that 10, 12 years back, I was working in the mall. I was getting 10,000 rupees salary. See how the startups start. Can you believe that? So working in sales executive, getting 10,000 rupees salary. I was working in Inorbit Mall in Bombay store as a sales executive. तो वहाँ पे मैंने देखा कि एक ब्रांड कैसे किया जाता है. लेदर वॉलेट होते हैं जो कैसे कुछ आर्टिकल्स, देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ आर्टिकल्स. 200 रुपये की चीज़ ब्रांड बना के 2000 में बेची भी जाती है. सो आई हैव वन इन माई बैग, देर इज़ अ ज्वेलरी ऑल्सो. 14 अभी 2-3 दिन पहले वैलेंटाइन डे हो गया. कैन यू बिलीव दैट आई टुक ज्वेलरी, आई हैव स्क्रीन शॉट ऑल्सो. मैंने ज्वेलरी ली थी. कितने प्राइस होगी? MRP 2000 है. जस्ट स्टार्टअप कैसे चालू होता है, जैसे आई एम शोइंग दैट. 2000 MRP. ये चेन है, चलो छोड़ो, ये चेन है, गोल्ड प्लेटेड है, गोल्ड की नहीं है. कितने की होगी? MRP 2000 है. हाँ 200. क्लैप फॉर हिम. गुड. 200 की चीज़ यहाँ 2000 में बेची जाती है ब्रांड बना के. लेकिन वो 200 को कहाँ मिलती है वो मालूम नहीं आपको. सो वी कंडक्ट DDP, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम. इंडस्ट्री विजिट, मॉल विजिट. पहले हम मॉल में जाते हैं, वहाँ कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स वगैरह देखते हैं. एंड देन वी गो टू द धारावी मार्केट में. 200 की चीज़ 2000 में कैसे बेची जाती है वो तो छोड़े. ज्वेलरी, वाइफ के लिए ज्वेलरी ली थी, नेकलेस, ओनली 60 रुपीज़ एंड 7 रुपीज़. 7 रुपये, ओनली 7 रुपीज़. ये ऐसे स्टार्टअप होता है. तो यहाँ पैसे की ज़रूरत है, वर्क फ्रॉम होम. अभी आप कहोगे बेचेंगे कैसे? व्हाट्सअप, सिर्फ स्टेटस रख के, व्हाट्सअप स्टेटस, यू कीप ऑन द व्हाट्सअप स्टेटस, सोशल मीडिया, फेसबुक, and I do lots of my business. So I was working in the mall. I was getting 10,000 rupees salary. तो मैंने देखा लेदर का वॉलेट 200 का 2000 में बेचा जाता है. लेदर बैग, जो बैग है लेदर की, 1000-2000 में आ जाती है, 15-20 हज़ार में जाती है. So we started a small जयेश लेदर. I started a small stall, you can say. ऐसे करते करते जयेश लेदर करते with my brother-in-law, not me. करते करते एक छोटा सा हमने एक स्टॉल चालू किया, प्रियंका लेदर मार्ट. यहाँ नहीं, मुंबई में नहीं, सातारा में चालू किया. सो करते करते 10 years back I was working in the mall. I started my own leather journey and प्रियंका शू मार्ट, जो बॉम्बे बेंगलोर हाईवे पे सातारा में देखा जाएगा तो 1 lakh square feet stall to mall. That's our success stories. 1 lakh square feet. I left my job. और 1 लाख स्क्वायर फीट का हमारा है क्या? माई ब्रदर इन लॉ. वो हमारी सक्सेस स्टोरी. शायद इसके लिए मुझे यहाँ पे बुलाया होगा. तो ये होता है स्टार्टअप. अदर माई कजिन ब्रदर मिस्टर अशोक खाड़े, रिसेंटली ही गॉट अ पद्मश्री. ही वॉज वर्किंग इन मजगांव डॉक. 10,000 की उन्होंने जॉब छोड़ के 500 करोड़ की कंपनी की. न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स फ्रंट पेज, फुल पेज उनका इंटरव्यू आया है. So this is my personal success story. So now this is the payback to society. I always say to my startups, if you have the strong desire and passion for the startups, fund will give. So we start a first incubation center with the retail outlet where startup can put their products also. अगर आपके कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स है, आप मॉल में नहीं रख सकते हो, शायद 30,000, 50,000, लाख रुपए उनका रेंट है. सो हमारे यहाँ पे पहले दुकान, बाद में मकान होता है ना. तो पहले दुकान है, बाद में इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर है, वो हमने किया है स्पेशली फॉर द लेडीज़. आपके जो भी प्रोडक्ट्स है आप रखिए, बेच के हम पैसे आपको दे देंगे. दैट हमने स्टार्ट किया.
ग्रेट सर.
ओके.
देयर इज वन फेमस बुक विच आई एम श्योर एवरीबडी वुड हैव रेड, if not to read it, Founder's Dilemma. So either you can become a king or you can become a rich. So Parimal sir, still the people are looking at only to become a rich or king, that is to have a control or to dilute your stake, or today we are looking at growth or governance on both. So how, as an investor, what founders are looking for today?
Yeah, good afternoon everyone, and thank you Dr. Narendra for inviting me in this wonderful event. I think future ready leaders is a very apt word because I think the way Dr. Narendra is continuing this type of events, one unicorn may come out from here, who knows. So thanks Dr. Narendra for this. Regarding the question which you have asked, I believe that what is important, valuation is one part, which is very, very important, no doubt about it. But losing control of a company is also every entrepreneur fears. Say, for example, but then important is to dilute and get more capital and try to build up your startup in a way that creates valuation. So your motto should be valuation for betterment, for getting more good investors in the system. I can share an example, one example where Lenskart you can take, for example. When they started, Piyush Goyal was one of the main founders, and today he's holding only 10%, which is valuing around 7,000 crores. And today the market cap of Lenskart is around 70,000 crores. So this is the way the business has built up over a period of time. They have focused on the profitability part of it. So that's why the valuation has been created. Earlier startups were, those startups which were coming were not more focused on the corporate governance, not more focused on the growth, not more focused, they were burning cash. But with the concept of startups going public, profitability has become the main criteria for getting a good valuation. So of late, I feel valuation is important to create and build up your business. And even diluting is not a problem because at every stage, you have to get capital. So diluting is not the criteria, so you need to leave control at some point of time. In my case also, I invested in a company which is into cybersecurity. The company, when the first dilution took place where I invested, it was some 10% dilution. Today, after 3 rounds of funding, the promoter is holding only 40% and 60% is with the investors. But my investment has now become 10 times over a period of 3 years. So this is the way the valuation gives you the basic input, in terms of growth. Okay. That's my say.
Yeah, thank you. One thing we all agree, we have one of the best digital infrastructure that is available in the world. You talk about Aadhaars, you talk about UPIs, you talk about DigiLocals, and you talk about everything. Devang has been the pioneer to create that rails and the digital infrastructure. So Devang, before we move ahead, what is your experience as an architect of digital highways, particularly with your company of Highwise?
Thanks, Krupesh, and thanks to Narendra sir for inviting. I think he's been doing a human service.
Right.
Full, I think, credit to him. Answering a query, I think it's your answer is itself in the question. I would say that rather. I think there is nobody in the audience who is not using UPI right now. Is there anybody who doesn't use UPI? You don't use UPI. What do you use? Cash? Good. That's good. So that's an exception. But if you look at the entire room, everybody has used UPI right now. So I come from a generation, thanks even Probir is around here, we come from a generation where we've seen the evolution of, let's say, only on a payment side, right from zip-zap machines. So at one point of time, you had those machines where you'd go into a shop and you give a credit card, you'd do zip-zap and they would give a carbon imprint on that card and then you'd use that. And that was a high-risk kind of a requirement out there. To now, when you see real-time money being basically going down and getting debited from your account. While over the period of years, we've seen, and thanks, this is largely, we would need to thank Mukesh Bhai and nobody else, because the evolution of internet, evolution of everything else, all the internet had been existing in the country since 1995. I was one of the fortunate ones to use internet even before internet was released in the country.
Right.
But thanks to Jio coming in, kind of making it a revolution and keeping it cheaper, people had access to the digital highways through internet first. And then on the payments, you've seen successive innovations happening over a period of time. So I think if you look at the fintech journey is not only about payments, but payments, access to credit, and multiple other things around there. So when you look at payments, we've gone from a generation of basically zip-zap to right now real-time payments. Again, in the interim, when even internet revolution was taking place, for example, when you looked at the journey about 15 odd years back, shopping itself was a very risky proposition, right? Where people were scared to both basically go down and use their cards over the internet because of security issues. Somebody could defraud their cards and other things around there. There's mighty number of issues out there. thanks again to RBI. So one thing we need to thank is the regulator also,
Right.
who's come down with proactive policies in terms of defining what rules and regulations you need to follow for making it more secure. So the overall thing, when we look at an experience, we've seen a generation of things happening right now. People take a lot of things for granted, but I think there is a lot more that has gone behind creating what we have right now. We should be proud of what we created for the world,
Right.
especially on UPI and the IMPS rails that we've created right now. From a Highway point of view, what we believe, we are building up right now in Highway a cross-border fintech platform which looks at payments, documentation, lending, as well as basically business enablement for exporters and subsequently importers also. Country is at a phase for cross-border and especially in global commerce for payments specifically, what normal digital payments were in the country in 2009. There is the same sense of trust deficit. Today, in 2009, when we would walk into any merchant outlet or any business, they would ask basically, इसमें कोई fraud तो नहीं है ना?
Right.
Will I lose money? कोई customer आके मुझे छूना लगेगा तो नहीं चले जाएगा? So that worry was always there. Same thing on the customer side, they were worried about if I pay using this, can somebody take my payment away or not? In cross-border payments, we are at the same inflection point right now. We are still in that journey has to be taken over. We need to build super efficient rails to ensure that the money movement is frictionless. We have to ensure people are able to move money across as seamless as they're doing in UPI right now, even across borders. Thanks, of course, we've seen UPI trying to build on that, but there's still a lot more to be achieved there.
Thank you. And the next big thing, blockchain, we already have seen, we have a blockchain network framework for governance. We have Andhra Pradesh, Telangana using blockchain for trade records. Already ICICI SBI is doing a pilot project on using blockchain for a cross-border payment. So that's the next big thing which Startup 2.0 should look into.
Of course, my sense is blockchain has been hyped up as a technology for a long period of time. But every technology takes its own space of time to grow and mature and come into the industrial use. So when we started out, I think one of the biggest use cases of blockchain, of course, has been crypto. I think we are not looking at cryptocurrencies. People, I don't know, I personally am not betting on cryptocurrencies as such because there is no underlying behind that. There are a lot of other people, I don't advise people not to go ahead, it's their personal choice. But having said that, basically, again, when we spoke about trust and basic trust, transparency, the backbone of trust and transparency, you need to create what we call in technical terms, non-repudiation. That nobody could come and challenge the data behind that.
Right.
And that is the basic essence of blockchain. When you look at the various use cases, for example, cases like your land records, which you spoke about right now, cases like, for example, any kind of other smart contracts between businesses. For example, when I look at even global commerce, today one of the biggest issues in global commerce is there's a document called Bill of Lading, which a shipping line generates and sends it to the importer on the other side. During the transit, so shipping line gives it to the exporter and exporter shares it to the importer out there on the other side. During the transit, there is a chance that the exporter could change the bill of lading. Can we make that basically, again, risk-free kind of a thing? Because that will bring in a lot more trust in the ecosystem. Because of the trust coming in the ecosystem, the advantage of blockchain network itself is going to be basically leading to a lot more funding because the access to capital, access to everything will be given to the people also around there. Same thing on the patient and healthcare. So if you look at healthcare and other verticals, you can use blockchain. For example, one of the other use cases, this is basically from your university point of view, you can use blockchain for giving student marks also.
Of course.
Because today, a lot of, if there are students out here who are looking at aspiring to go abroad, one of the biggest issues that we have seen is the trust, the issues with the mark sheets and everything around here. People want, earlier at one point in time when we were studying, they required certified mark sheets. The reason for certified mark sheets was, where is the trust out there? If they had something like a DigiLocker is there already right now. But if there is a blockchain network where on the whole mark sheets and your certificates could be riding on your blockchain, that would basically make it accessible to anybody across the globe. Today, it is the dominion of the university which is offering, for example, it could be the university out there, ITM could be offering it, IIM would be offering, having their own set of repository. I am a student, I need to have my own repository. Now, if the documents are there on the blockchain, accessibility of that for anything, whether it is for the purpose of getting an admission on other universities, getting a job somewhere else, there, that whole requirement goes away. And that's where we see the beauty of blockchain coming in.
Right.
But having said that, blockchain as a network itself overall it's been largely globally built up. We need to have domestic mechanisms to build up such networks also.
Okay.
So largely people are riding on Ethereum, Solana and other things. So we need to have similar networks in India
Now,
also.
it's a good point to talk about a blockchain, and maybe I would try to link, say, the blockchain financing maybe to the MSME sector, because आज का startup करके MSME होगा, and then we look at how I'm going to get an exit, maybe an IPO or the Patience Capital we talk about. So what has been your experience? We have many things. We have PM Vishwakarma, we have Mudra for MSME financing, but somehow the financing is still not pick up the level which we want to get into. So what has been your experience into MSME financing?
I think MSME financing is not the dearth of capital in the market, but it's more of a distribution and how to provide that last mile services, right?
Right.
Because we often tend to compare the metro cities with the tier 3 or tier 4 cities, but it's not, every city has its different set of mechanism in terms of distribution and last mile delivery, right? But having said that, I think from 2016 onwards, I think we have seen a evolution in terms of fintech lending, both in terms of providing the kind of technology and tying up with bank and NBFCs. But of late, there are models which are coming up, not directly, but the concept like EWA, the earned wage access, right?
Yes.
It is not directly an arrangement to provide the funding to the company, but it is more of an arrangement. It's a B2B, B2C model, right? So now here, the bank, the lender, say for here, the use case, it's a fintech oriented use case, but again, the capital will be flowing from either from the bank or from the NBFCs as per the guidelines from the RBI, right?
Okay.
But here, the problem is very large given we have almost 70-80% blue collar employees who are working in multiple SMEs, where the number of employees in a single company is more than 100 or 1000, right? But how to solve this problem? Either you directly having a tie-up with the employer, and then the employer would initiate that kind of middle of the month or early month credit line to the employee. But here, collection is a factor. In every lending aspect, the collection has always been a challenge.
Okay.
So here, the fintech per se is trying to build that last mile technological infrastructure, mostly as a rail where other people can come in and build. Of late, we have seen that shift from traditional fintech model to fintech infratech. Like we have seen the company where some of the close investors also recently funded. So they have built something where you can just manage your any kind of a credit card from start to end. So this kind of technological evolution also needed in terms of providing last mile delivery to the fintech MSMEs.
Precisely, and the initiative of OCEN and the unified lending infrastructure, Ken is going to add more. I'm very much sure about it. Now, just to rationalize the timing, I will ask each of the panel, will give you 2 minutes to give one case study to you, sir. Previously, we just talked about a woman entrepreneur. Now, surprisingly, of the total budget, around 9.5% has been given to the women-oriented scheme. But then in 2025, we have seen a 25% drop in the startup which are women-led. Right. You have been doing many things for women entrepreneurship. Right. So very quickly, if you can tell one case study.
Just 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I closely work with Mahila Arthik Vikas Mahamandal, Jyotitai Thakre. She was the chairperson. And we, in Shahapur, we started Women Entrepreneurship Development Program for Adivasi people. Nobody came. Then हमने किया था कि आदिवासी महिलाओं के लिए कुछ साड़ी वगैरह गिफ्ट्स वगैरह है. So गिफ्ट्स के लिए बहुत सारी वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर आई. And then we conduct Women Entrepreneurship Development Program, mentorship and hand holding support. And after that we started Gabale Adivasi Mart we started. And successfully they are working there. उनका जनरल स्टोर अभी चालू है. अभी उन्होंने कुक्कुट पालन वगैरह भी चालू किया है. So I have 2 success stories also. I want to ask the one question. How many of you, more than 100 delegates are here? आपने कितने जन ने गवर्नमेंट के ग्रांट लिए? ग्रांट इज नॉन रिफंडेबल लोन, यू हैव टू पे विद द इंटरेस्ट. ग्रांट इज़ नॉन रिफंड. आपका प्रोडक्ट है, आइडिया का प्रोडक्ट बनाना है तो उसके लिए ग्रांट मिलती है. कितने है, रेज योर हैंड्स, ग्रांट कितने जन ने लिए है, या गवर्नमेंट स्कीम का कितने जन ने फ़ायदा लिया है? एक भी नहीं है, एक भी नहीं है. वेरी गुड.
Maybe you can help them.
Yes, I will tell you. It's
Post-session.
very important.
Okay,
Very important.
thank you. Just for
Just
the
1 minute. Important.
Yeah.
मोर देन 100 डेलीगेट
course.
एक ने जन ने भी नहीं लिया. सो स्टार्टअप इंडिया की जो स्कीम है सीड फंड, आइडिया है प्रोडक्ट बनाने के लिए अप टू 20 lakhs इट्स अ ग्रांट, अप टू 50 lakhs नॉन लोन है इसके लिए. एंड सक्सेस स्टोरी, या 16-17 साल का कौन है, 17-18 सब बड़े हैं ना. माई स्टूडेंट 12th स्टैंडर्ड स्टूडेंट अभिषेक, he got a grant of 25 lakhs. He incubated. Mumbai का भी नहीं. He listened my session in IIT Bombay. Session सुनने के बाद he request not for the money, he request for the mentorship. I gave mentorship to him and he applied for some grant program. Samsung का जो उनका Better Tomorrow program था, तो he just applied and I just told him how to give presentation and all. 25 lakhs grant and he incubated IIT Delhi. जो आपके faculties है, so one of my faculty, he also got a grant.
Okay, now.
So I have lots of success stories, women also and gents also.
Yeah, so being a faculty,
Yes.
I need to make sure the Viva gets over within the given time. So we will
So grant
continue
is
our
non-refundable.
discussion.
Take a grant. Loan
Yeah.
मत लो, equity पे मत दो, investor के
Okay.
पास मत जाओ. आपका काम अच्छा है, हम आपके पास
Right.
आएंगे.
Now we all know the AI.
आपको मालूम है आइडिया को भी पैसे मिलते हैं. हम आइडिया कंपटीशन पे रखते हैं, स्टार्टअप आइडिया कंपटीशन.
I might have to give you negative
Okay.
marks, sir. So sorry.
No, keep
just
the
for the
separate
restrictive
session for
timing.
the government grant and
Yeah,
funding. It's a very interesting. सबको क्या चाहिए? पैसा चाहिए ना? रिटर्न देना है या ग्रांट चाहिए आपको? ग्रांट चाहिए ना? नॉन रिफंडेबल पैसा चाहिए ना? सेपरेट सेशन रखिए.
And
थैंक यू.
talking about money, the AI summit is going on. We all are aware. 38,000 GPUs are available for Indian startup. As per Gartner report, by 2029, if I want to develop my own sovereign AI, the national need to spend 1% of GDP. India want to add by 2035 1.7 trillion. Are we going to see a super AI app from India?
I'm sure we're going to see that. We already have seen, I don't know how many of you are aware of a company called Emergent, right? Emergent is one of the fastest growing vibe coding tools from India, Bangalore. So
Right.
it is an AI app. Technically speaking, Perplexity was one of the bases was in India as an Indian itself. So you will see a super app, AI super app coming up in India soon. I'm very
Yeah.
confident of that.
And what about if I talk about Zoho, what kind of total cost of ownership? Because Zoho can be good, but I'm not having a trust. So maybe there is a trust deficit when Indian come out with some app.
I think it's more not about Indian come out with the app. It is the audience that you're targeting.
Right.
See, Zoho's target audience was US, not India.
Right.
India ironically, we do not have the propensity to pay money for the services.
Right.
हमारे वहाँ सबको सुंदर सस्ता टिकाऊ चाहिए. People don't want and don't appreciate the price they need to pay for it. I hope over a period of time people appreciate that you need to pay for the service also.
Right.
And for the IP behind that. Zoho was able to very successful earlier because they were able to extend the price in US. I have created a product company earlier called Financial Technologies, where brokers used to use our software for trading on the financial markets.
Right.
Now that was a licensed software, and I started with again not a service-based story. You have to make people appreciate, and they need to understand the relevance of why they're using the software.
Okay.
So Zoho, of course, if you're talking about you can create. There is, and one second, so Indian companies have gone after technically service play because of the largely labor arbitrage. People saw easy money making opportunity there, they went there.
Right.
Product creation is a tougher journey, requires a lot more research and foundational work before you create a product and launch the product.
Right. Parimal sir, one case study of yours.
Yeah, as an investor, I have done some around 9 to 10 investments till now, couple of fintech companies. There were failures also. Yes, 2 companies failed also, failed in the fintech space. But one such example where I feel we really have got good value in that investment is a company which is into backpack business. You know Safari, you know VIP. So they were competing likes of those type of, but it was a startup run by a woman entrepreneur and her son. Both of them very dynamic, very educated, and we bet on their skills, their their thought process, their marketing, go-to-market strategy. But why we invested was one particular reason. That backpack was a massager backpack, They massages your back. We have not seen such type of backpacks in the market, and we felt that it's a unique product. So when we invested, it was around, the top line revenue was around 5 crores. Today, over a period of 2 years, they are now a 50 crore company, and now they have entered into the luggage business. So generally we follow while investing a dashboard which is called the Magnificent 12, which I would like to share with the audience. Just a minute. See why we have a dashboard to invest in one particular startups, So so if all the ticks are there in the box, we take a call that we invest. We have a investment committee where 3 people decide to invest, and all are chartered accountants. So we are now all number crunchers. But these are the 12 points which I think, which will also help you to understand where we come from. One is the product service, and it should be innovative. Like in this backpack case, it was an innovative product. Leadership qualities, both both mother and son, they were quite very energetic and very, they knew the market and they were quite energetic on the market part of it. They were addressing a very good problem because now they have got I may say a contract from Mumbai Police as well as from the army, because that backpack is a massager backpack that reduces your load. When the load is very heavy while climbing in the hills and all, that backpack is giving a lot of support to your back. So that's why they were solving that problem. Their go-to-market strategy was excellent. They had a competitive spirit. They were better because they were young. They knew who are the competitors, and they were building up that sort of a competition. Team building was good. They had when we invested, they had a CFO in place, a chartered accountant, though a young chartered accountant, but it was in place. It was a strong board. They had one finance guy on the board, and we had a good board of advisors also. Cost effective, profitable. They are now EBITDA positive. So we look at such type of startups where EBITDA positive should be there. And now the profitability is the main criteria, for any VC funds who are investing today. Profitability has become the main criteria. Right. Meeting regulatory compliances and ESG and social impact compliance. Okay. So these are some of the factors which we consider while we invest.
Yeah, very, very quickly, one technological risk and how to mitigate that.
So I think overestimating technology, and also some of the companies are considering technology as a side hustle, but now we are living in an era, I think technology has to be your self-integrated ecosystem. Okay. So there is no option, because I have came across one such use cases recently. So it's a Bangalore-based company. I think we have seen so many KYC-enabled platform across the industry, right? So this particular company might disturb the entire onboarding space and also how the customers are being onboarded. Okay. So quick turnaround time, and they are very fast at executing with the banks and NBFCs also.
Okay,
so
thank you.
This is something very interesting.
Great. The principal is just at the door, so I need to finish quickly. A very rapid fire, very quickly we'll do it. One quality for an Indian founder in 2026. One word. Yeah.
Product should be innovative.
Okay.
Execution.
Parimal sir?
Leadership.
Global impact.
I'm going to use the, Shashi Tharoor directly, anti-fragility. And I'll tell you what is that. Lastly, in one word, what does a Viksit Bharat look like to you?
Yeah.
One word, sir?
For me, it's I just believe in the grant and funding. Okay. So most of startup go to grant, funding.
So funding, I will take funding.
That and grant. It's a non-refundable.
Yeah,
so most of startup, even just 20 seconds I will take. Even
So
you are
one word,
working
please.
executive,
Yeah, yeah.
that also you will get for your idea, you will get funding.
Maybe
I shared on the LinkedIn.
negative marks for sir. So sorry.
No,
Sir.
they should get it. No, we are giver.
Of course.
Global leadership.
Sir?
Atmanirbhar.
Think impactful.
For me, sovereign. Okay, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful discussion, a wonderful audience. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our moderator and our panelists. May I please request Dr. Narendra ji to please join us and help us in giving the token of appreciation to all our eminent panelists. Mr. Roy, as well, if you can please give us an opportunity of inviting you on stage and allow us the grace of giving it to all our panelists. Mr. Prabir Roy, along with Dr. Narendra. Mr. Roy, if you could just at the end also join back, we just want a group photograph. And on the other side, let's get set for our upcoming conversation. Let's talk about AI for Viksit Bharat. A rather very trending topic when we talk about AI in 2047, India's leapfrog opportunity for massive economic acceleration. Our moderator, Mr. Pereira, along with his panelists who are going to be joining in shortly. May we request all of you to please come together as a group for a group photograph and allow us to transition to our next panel. May I please urge all our audience members to also join me in applauding our speakers and our moderator. Thank you so much to each and every one of them, and may we request our speakers to now step down and allow the opportunity to transition to our next conversation.